Yes. Yeah, he can come right on to the top.
Skye Squad, we are back in the building. Yes, we got to break down everything that Pastor Jamal Bryant said from last night. Well, really, we're going to break down what it means for Gizelle on this show moving forward. We also got to discuss something that Candice Dillard has said and what it means for her on the show as well. Okay, so we're going to get into both of those things. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button by now, go ahead and do so. Hit the notification bell button and join the texting community so I can send you a new text message as soon as a new video drops. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and stage dive into the topics at hand. So y'all heard everything that Jamal had to say last night. We discussed it on this channel and it is literally everywhere on the internet right now. I mean, this was crazy. I don't necessarily think that his video did him any favors. It didn't seem very pastor-like to me. It seemed like there was some veiled threats. It seemed as though he was telling us that this storyline with Gizelle was nothing more than a storyline because he said that he is single. There was all kinds of things that we learned from that, but I could have swore that I heard him say at one point that he will never appear on the Real Housewives of Potomac again. Now, that's a very important point that we need to dissect. Why is this important? Because it really does, it's really bad for Gizelle. And we got to discuss why it's bad for Gizelle, and we got to break it down. So Gizelle is the single lady on this show. And unfortunately, from a production standpoint, I'm assuming that has not been embraced, okay? And the reason I say that is because it seems as though every season there is someone different. Now, ain't nothing wrong with dating. Ain't nothing wrong with being single, fabulous, and free, okay? I say get it how you live it. Do what you do. But for a show that's called Housewives, it seems as though there is a lot of pressure on Gizelle to bring in someone who can potentially act as her mate on the show. Now, given that so much emphasis this season was placed on Jamal being that guy, whether you believed it or whether you didn't believe it, this is problematic because this man is basically telling us that he will no longer be on this show. So, in terms of what Gizelle does for season 6, what is that gonna mean for the show? Okay? What is that going to mean? Because this man is in one breath telling us he's single, then he's also saying that he's not going to be back on the show. That's going to be detrimental to her moving forward for season 6 because ultimately, now I don't know if it comes down from the network. I don't know if it comes from the production company, but obviously there is some level of pressure to produce a partner or man or a relationship on this show. Otherwise, I feel like we would have all been fine with just seeing her living her single life and raising her kids, which to me is a good enough story in and of itself if we get to delve into the complexities of what it is like being the single mother with a father who is a powerful pastor who has allegedly all of these other things going on and is constantly in the news for all of those other things, okay? That would have been an amazing thing for us to see. But given that she has pushed herself into this corner, she's painted herself into this corner, and I just feel like now this is going to be problematic for her as she continues to move forward on this show. And I really want to know from you guys, what do you think she's going to do? And where do we go with her character at this point now? Because, you know, at this point, everyone is looking at her as a fraud. Okay. And I'm sure, listen, if you want to support Gizelle, support your girl. I don't have a problem with that. What I'm talking about is, what do we do with this character on this show moving forward? Is she going to be real? Is she going to give us the real deal behind what really happened with her and Jamal? Are we going to get any of that? Because to be quite honest with you, if we're not going to get the real deal reality with her, then I don't want to see her on the show. That's just that. And it's no shade to her. It's just that we as a viewing audience don't like a farce. we don't like to be sold something that's blatantly not true. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I want to at least be able to believe what I'm seeing on the screen, okay? Because otherwise it discredits the entire show. And if a show is discredited, then it discredits the entire franchise. So to me, I feel like this is very problematic and something needs to be done about this, okay? So let me know in the chatterization what you guys want to see from her next season, or do you think she should return at all? What do you think? Because I guarantee you the network is not going to want to get rid of her. But in terms of, you know, for real, I mean, we're going to need to see something different. We're going to need to see something different. And if this man is not going to be willing to act as your boyfriend or whatever the case may be anymore, you're going to have some problems next season, okay? Now, I want to move on to Candice Bassett, okay? There's a report out from Reality Blurb, and I believe this is from an interview that she did with thatgrapejuice.net. So in the interview, at some point, she basically says this. She says, I will never be in the same room with her again, okay? And this is not the first time she's said something to the effect of how she will never film with Monique Samuels again after the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. I will place a link in the description down below so that you guys can read it for yourselves. But here's the thing. Unfortunately for Candice, she's not the leading lady on that franchise. You know, at the end of the day, you as a participant and as a cast member on an ensemble cast do not dictate to the network what is going to happen season after season. You cannot also say, I will never shoot another scene with this person again, because what that is doing is you are sending a signal to the network that you are above the show. And you can call it whatever you like, but that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. And it's specifically not a good idea for you to say that when literally Andy Cohen just told you that you were a disaster on Twitter. Okay? Now, if nobody else caught that moment as being pivotal, you missed a lot. Okay? You missed a lot. Because the moment he said those words, that was a warning. That indeed was a warning. Change your ways, girl. Your life will be easier once you ease up off Twitter. Change your ways. Okay? As a housewife, as a member of a reality television show, you cannot say to anyone, I'm not going to do this or that anymore. Okay? And you ain't the face of the network. And you ain't the face of the show. Okay? It just doesn't work. Now, those are just my opinions. These are my reactions to these statements right here. Just as someone who has worked, who has been on a reality show, you can't tell the network what you're not gonna do and what you're gonna do. Okay? Bottom line, there are all cast scenes that have to be filmed. What are you gonna do? You gonna take the penalty every time and not show up? Because that's gonna affect your coin. So what you gonna do? Okay? Now I wanna know what you guys think about this. I'm still reeling from, that good pastor's live last night. You know, it was so much to unpack. We unpacked a lot of that last night, but it's still fresh in my mind today. I'm trying to get past that. Listen, if you guys have any additional thoughts on this situation, make sure you chime in the chat below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, and I will catch you in the next video.